Have you ever watched a toddler at a playground? There's a specific kind of energy they have. They run, shout, and take up space, bursting with a completely uninhibited, full-body joy. All that constant motion is actually a profound life force at work. It is the raw, unedited energy of a human being naturally claiming their place in the world. You can think of this energy as an inner fire. It is a deep, glowing sense of vitality that every single one of us is born with, long before we ever learn the rules of how we are supposed to behave. Before we learn to constantly edit ourselves, being entirely visible and taking up all the space we needed was simply our default human state. But as we grow up, a conflict usually arises. The adult world is full of rules and routines, and our loud, unbridled fire is often seen as distracting, disruptive, or simply too much to handle. To survive and fit in, we adapt. As children, we subconsciously learn to dim our own vitality. We quiet down and pull our energy inward to make sure our parents and teachers stay happy, ensuring we get the love and safety we depend on. To enforce this new, quiet behavior, we develop an internal monitor. The famous psychologist Sigmund Freud called this the superego. You can imagine it as a strict mental software installed in our minds, acting as a permanent, hovering judge. This judge never clocks out. It constantly evaluates what we are about to say or do, creating an anxious filter that waters down our true feelings before we ever express them. The price of this childhood safety mechanism is high. We become well-behaved adults, but we live our lives disconnected from that warm, vibrant fire that used to be our primary source of power. When we lose touch with that natural vitality, we still have to get through the challenges of life, so we compensate. We construct a heavy, artificial exterior to face the world, a coping strategy called false strength. False strength looks like white-knuckling your way through the day. It's pushing yourself past the point of exhaustion and keeping defensive walls permanently raised. It might look tough on the outside, but this rigidity is actually a protective stance. It is a tense armor designed specifically to cover up an underlying feeling of weakness and exhaustion. Underneath the armor, a specific fear is at play. If we drop our guard, people will see us as vulnerable, fundamentally flawed and imperfect, or once again, too much. But relying on this artificial toughness is a failing strategy. Pretending to be completely vulnerable requires a massive, entirely unsustainable amount of energy. Letting go of that exhausting armor requires a literal shift in how we hold ourselves. Instead of staying trapped in an anxious, overthinking mind, we have to drop our awareness down into our physical body. We start by focusing on a specific spot, the area deep in your lower abdomen. This is your physical center of gravity. By resting your attention here, you bypass the mental chatter in your head, replaced by a solid, warm sensation of being entirely present. This is where we find real strength. Real strength is the capacity to sit with feelings of vulnerability or fear, while remaining solidly anchored in the physical weight of your own body. When you are physically grounded like this, your body sends a signal to your brain that you are safe. That safety allows you to finally soften your rigid exterior, knowing you still have the capacity to protect yourself. When you feel physically secure in your center, your heart no longer needs to stay guarded and tight. From that foundation of safety, your energy rises, showing up as a quiet, steady courage that doesn't need to shout to be felt. Consider the leaders who have truly moved the world. Their presence is deeply powerful, yet undeniably joyful and unarmored. They prove that you can face immense challenges without putting up a cold, rigid wall. In our everyday lives, this courage shows up in simple, profound ways. It is the ability to look someone right in the eye and speak a difficult, uncomfortable personal truth without flinching or looking away. It also gives you the stability to set clear boundaries. You can firmly tell someone what is and isn't acceptable, calmly and clearly, without ever needing to raise your voice or attack them. Owning your fire means the days of shrinking down are over. You no longer have to edit your words or hide your authenticity just to keep everyone around you perfectly comfortable. It's a strange paradox. That intense, unapologetic vitality that the adult world once told you was too much is the exact resource you need to be a fully authentic adult today. The best part is, you don't have to study a new philosophy or master some exhausting new skill. You are simply unblocking a natural state of being that was yours from birth and never actually left you. Truly showing up for your life just requires taking a slow breath, letting that heavy armor drop to the floor, and trusting the warmth of your own physical presence. Ultimately, showing up means setting aside the need to be invincible. It is the simple, steady act of finally letting the world see who you actually are.